Today's video, we're going to talk about the sophomore curse. We got to load some firewood, but I'll meet you back inside in a minute.
Hi, and welcome to Yeti at Large. This is a channel focused on making the most out of what you have, no matter where you're at. Thanks for tuning in and helping out.
Instead of heading back inside, I saved it for another day, and let's finish this video smack dab in the middle of Arizona. We're at about a mile high of elevation out here in what some folks would call a prairie. Others might call it grassland. I just call it beautiful. We're going to walk around out here and find a good place where we can just sit down, clear our minds, clear our hearts, not sit on any thorns or cactus. Since it's cold, I'm not too worried about rattlesnakes. I like this backdrop and this scenery because this is about as far as you can get from social media and internet and posting on blogs and videos. And it's a good place to kind of sit back and just reflect on the last 5 or 6 months of my journey on YouTube. Looking due north, the Grand Canyon is out there about 86 miles away. Looking northeast, you can see the San Francisco peaks north of Flagstaff right in the center there. That's about 50 miles away. They stand almost 13,000 feet tall. Looking a little more west, the Mogollon Rim, the Colorado Plateau. Somewhere south of here is the city of Prescott, but you just can't see it. There's a little bit of cloud cover, but the rolling hills make you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. That's why I use the tagline, High Plains Drifter. You can really find a little bit of peace and quiet out here. The sophomore curse is a phrase that I think I learned from reading about rock bands that put out this great first album, and then the second album they can't seem to duplicate the same success they had with the first one. A little while ago I did a video about introducing to YouTube, learning how to YouTube, and I talked about some basic equipment and learning how to navigate the website. Well, I'm just far enough downrange that I'm starting to feel like a sophomore now. I've got about 155 videos up now, including shorts and long videos. I've done community posts. I float at about 650 subscribers, plus or minus, and I have just under 60,000 total views, but only about 280 hours of watch time. So I'm just big enough now that I feel like I can call myself a sophomore, but I am nowhere near many of the channels that I look to that have just north of 10,000 subscribers, just north of 1,000 watch hours, and somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 to 250 videos. I've learned a lot in the last few months, and I want to share some of that. First and foremost, YouTube, what is up with the 1-hour commercials that pop up in the middle of the video that I'm trying to watch? It seems like some of these big outlets can't get the views organically they're looking for, so they're trying to buy views by putting their whole show in a commercial. It's not cool, and inevitably it pops on the minute your hands get full. And you guys have got to teach the computer to stop interrupting the song at the absolute best place to run an ad. It's unthinkable to run an ad in the middle of a song. I should probably quit crying and just man up and get the YouTube Premium so I don't have the ads, but we'll see about that. So first and foremost, some of the things that you learn after 6 months or so of posting videos at a pretty healthy rate. I see how easy it is to get wrapped around the axles on subscribers and viewer counts and analytics and all that. I've stopped looking at a lot of the analytics now that I've gotten a foothold on what it is I'm looking at, but I'm still confused. It's funny how you watch your subscriber count, and mine went up to 350 pretty quick thanks to a shout out by Economic Ninja. I'll put a link down below. Check out his channel. And then I climbed pretty organically from about 330 to 650. But the irony is now every day I look at my subscriber count and I go up to 656, down to 649, up to 6, and I can't seem to get off that plateau. Somebody shared with me that you need to make sure that you understand that it's not just a question of losing or gaining a subscriber. Any given day, I could lose 50 subscribers and gain 55 new ones. And all I see is a 5 subscriber change. So I'm not paying that close attention to that because I quickly discovered that I'm susceptible to being dragged around by my nose by that kind of stuff. And I saw a lot of people talk about it. Daniel Howe really talked about it. And so I'm trying to be careful of that on the get-go. The second thing, the watch time. You know, you make a lot of videos just like this one. Most people will click on for a few seconds and then click out. Most of the people that watch this aren't subscribed to me, yet I'm not showing up in a lot of feeds because I'm not big enough for the algorithm to start seeing me. So that's weird. It can be frustrating inherently that you put a lot of work into these types of videos. I've done series on communication, on cutting firewood. I've done several projects, a whole lot of cooking videos, really good instructional stuff, albeit a very low production quality. I'm sitting out in a field, in a grass field in the middle of nowhere, but I'm trying to use my lav mic to see if that doesn't cut down on the wind. And I've tried to get it tucked in here in my shirt so that the wind doesn't hit the phone too much. But you put all this work into these bigger videos, and the shorts are the ones that carry the views, by far and away carry the views, but those don't count towards your watch time, towards having the algorithm see as more. Having people subscribe and watch the long videos is the key, but man, that's tougher, easier said than done. I do think it's interesting. My biggest video to date is just around 8,000 views, and that was a short that I posted. My biggest by view count regular video was my introduction to preparing your home like a cook on a ship. It was a different twist on the prepper movement, trying to steer away from nuclear war and zombie apocalypse, and more of just looking at being prepared as though you're a long way from shore and resupply. That one did about 3,500 views. So kind of cool, you know, but again, 155 videos and I'm only at about 60,000 total views. It can be frustrating when my typical video like this one will do anywhere from a few dozen to a couple of hundred views, and not able to break through on that yet. So that's the sophomore curse, as you're learning a lot of this stuff. Obviously, the first thing I did was I studied all of the helpful tutorial videos about SEO, search engine optimization. I'm using the proper hashtags in the proper location. I'm doing links to other YouTube channels and other videos. I'm doing the end card. I'm doing the thumbnails. I'm putting the emphasis where all of the people that I trust are telling me to put the emphasis on. And I've been through my settings and selections several times to make sure I haven't done something awkward that's clipping me off at the heels kind of thing. And I don't think I am. I think now I'm in a place where it just takes time and hard work. There's no substitute for that, never going to be. Everybody you talk to that's had even a tiny modicum of success on YouTube will tell you those first 1,000 subscribers were the most difficult. Casey Neistat. And so I'm not going to lose faith, but I do now have a healthy respect for how the metrics of doing social media can really torque your emotions. And if you don't, if you're not really anchored, boy, that can get a hold of you, and you can do some stuff out of haste, trying to respond to that. I've had the benefit of being late to the game as a YouTuber, so I've really had the advantage of learning from a lot of really what I call big channels to learn some do's and don'ts and some safeguards early on. So that's been great. I've got a cheap little laptop. I'm running some audio software right now to try to cancel out the wind noise. I've still got my cheap little Nikon camera, which is very frustrating because there's no port on the camera to plug in a microphone. So I'm going to rely on syncing up the audio software on the laptop. I took advantage of a Black Friday sale and I bought a new computer, smoking deal, with 20 gig of RAM. One of the biggest things I've discovered with my video editing software is it leaves hundreds of temp files it slow your computer down to a crawl and the thing won't function anymore. So I've learned to hit the Windows key and the R button to get that run window, percentage sign, temp, percentage sign, and clear those temp files out, and then run the disk cleanup. That's been very helpful. My 1 terabyte solid state hard drive has started not responding, which is scaring me. I feel like I'm going to lose a lot of data. So this new computer's coming. It's got 512 gig of storage and 20 gig of RAM, which this little one I have here, I think has got 4. If you can believe it, most had 8. I think 20 gig of RAM is going to run the video and audio processor a lot faster, and I might find a lot more satisfaction. Where I live up here in beautiful northern Arizona at the Mile High, um, this is Mile High here. I actually live almost 1,500 feet above this. Um, my internet sucks, and so upload times are forever, and videos can freeze, and that can be very frustrating. Bright shining spot, though, are the comments in the community. Yeti at Large has a fantastic community, and I have no doubt about it, nor do I have any qualms that I have a handful of subscribers who are malcontents and contrarians. I got a couple people watching this just to pop in there and be sour. If that's you, and you're not a huge Yeti at Large fan, but you're paying attention to what I say for whatever reason you may be interested in that, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Like Abraham Lincoln, I'm not afraid to take frequent public opinion baths. You got to get out and circulate amongst your people. Now, I don't overly obsess on the negative comments. I've had some pretty horrific things posted in my comments, including a couple links to some really unsavory websites. I've learned how to mute and block those people really quick, and I've learned that people troll comments pretty hard. But by and large, and an overwhelming portion of the comments I've had have been awesome. The ones I like the most are the people that are saying, hey, turn your oven down, change this, do that, help there, I did this, this worked for me. And it's been a blast. At one point, I subscribed to just under 300 channels, and I commented trying to build community, but that didn't translate into subscribers or views. I found out a very, very small portion of that did. People are busy. I get it. I'm not sour about it. I tried it thinking it would work, and I didn't get a lot of traction on that. What I will tell you that works and that I'm very fond of is every comment I get, if it's a legitimate comment, I reply to it with earnest. I take some time. That's my favorite part of the process so far. I put up a video. I really struggle through the video editing portion of it. I get it uploaded, and then I love it when the comments come back and we have a real dialogue. I've got gardening channels that I follow that I just love. People, small urban gardeners, people that have these huge plots of lands that are trying to do it commercially. One guy, Soil Brother, man, he's a blast to watch, and he works his tail off. That's been phenomenal. Another favorite part, I got viewers in Alaska, ham operators, ham radio, shortwave, backbone of communication in a rough society. I got those guys up in Alaska. I've got maritime captains in Scandinavia and Norway. I've got fine dining people in Australia. I got a guy, Destiny Ridge, who is rehabitating a big old chunk of land down under for wildlife habitat. It's amazing the people that are out there. I listen to Professor Rock. I listen to a couple of commentators that have a unique perspective, but I limit my political exposure because emotionally it's very hard on me. So there's the sophomore curse. Where do we go from here? How do I get to being a junior, upperclassman? Well, I still have quite a bottom drawer of ideas and stuff in progress. I found I've really been focusing on food lately, but it's the holiday season and that is my wheelhouse. We're going to do some art projects. We're going to do some more communications and leadership theory. I'm going to branch off into some very, very heavy, very difficult subjects dealing with resiliency for public safety and suicide prevention and mental health and issues. I have a great deal of experience and passion with that. And there's going to be a time, not now because this whole process hasn't played itself out yet, and I'm not comfortable commenting on things that are still in play. But there's going to come a time when we're going to start sharing some stories from the front lines of public safety. I've had a lot of people that I've worked with over the years and that have reached out to me that want to give voice to some stories they have from all over the country, all over the world. I got a fella in the Black Forest in the Bavaria area that wants to share some public safety stories. I want to give light to that in an effort that it will help people. I've said a few controversial things on this channel. Nobody's really called me on it yet. I have a feeling that if I keep working hard and I keep slowly growing, earning one subscriber at a time, and I'm okay with that, that there'll be some backtracking, that a lot of my older stuff that's 4 or 5 months old that seems to be passed over will get revisited and get a lot of scrutiny for the low production quality that it is. But I have a feeling a lot of that will get revisited, and all of a sudden videos that have had 36 to 150 views may jump up into that 1,000, 2,000, etc. echelon. I've seen a lot of channels do that. I'm watching my feed carefully. It's interesting to see what comes into my feed. Channels 6, 7 years old that I find that have posted videos. I'm finding some great stuff. I tend to gravitate towards channels with about 12,000 to a couple hundred subscribers because I can learn a lot for that, and I see a lot of myself in you guys, and that's been a whole lot of fun. I came out here today to the grasslands of central northern Arizona to get a little peace, to get away from it all, and to think about this sophomore curse. I'm not entirely sure that I'm not YouTubing as a form of self-therapy, self-medicating therapy, just to hear myself talk. And if I am, that's enough for me, and I'm okay with that. I've been through a lot. I'm not crying about my situation. I've been through a lot. I gladly did it. Given the chances, I'd do it over again when it comes to public safety. I can't tell you the undying respect and love that I have for the people that I've served with shoulder to shoulder, the community that I've had the privilege and opportunity to contact, and the fact that some twist of fate, I was ordained and plucked out of a commercial kitchen as an executive chef and said, we need you to go out there and take care of your fellow citizens, your community, people from all over the world. Where I was involved in public safety, we had interstates, railways, Grand Canyon, hospitals, universities, trains, planes, and automobiles. And I've had a chance to support some people on some very tough days. And it's been the privilege of my life, next to the children that I've had in my life, and the love that I found. I'm a very, very fortunate person. But that doesn't mean that things like this aren't hard, and that's half the reason I'm doing this new YouTube thing, is to learn some new skills. I have certainly found that my skills have plateaued, and I've lost interest in really learning how to work the video software. I'm more interested in just taking what I know and getting it to upload, and it sure shows in the production quality. I've learned some great shortcuts, short tricks. Word for the day. I need a pizza box and a McDonald's coffee. Like one of the things that I used to do, I used to turn the camera off and on, off and on, off and on, and I'd have 60 little videos. Boy, that's a real hassle when you're doing your software editing, to find that very beginning of the clip when it's compressed down in the scroll bar. I've learned to go to the clip edge, one frame over it, and then go backwards to the minutes, seconds, and hundredths of a seconds to where I want to do my edit. That's been helpful. But now what I do is I'll just run the camera and I'll record a 45-minute video, load that, and it makes it a lot easier to scroll through there and cut out the nonsense, all the ums and ahs and pauses and sniffles and all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, though, I've seen some channels with some really slick production quality that just stink. And by stink, I mean they're not getting the view time, they're not getting the subscribers, they don't get the scroll through, click through rates. But boy, the quality of the stuff they're producing, it's smooth. It's got good audio, good video, good transitions, good, all that stuff. And it's proven to me that that's just a dress on a pig, that you can't substitute quality. I see other channels that are just rough. I mean, rough. They turn on a phone and they rip for 20 minutes and they post it. And they get thousands of views and great click through and tons of subscribers. because what they're saying has merit. And you got to find yourself somewhere in between. I'm not settled on a specific genre yet. Like Lean of Peak, it's an aviation channel I watch. Very specific. It's a smaller channel, but high quality stuff. And the guy's a great private pilot and a great little engineer. Love his channel. I've watched bigger aviation channels. Blanco Lirio, he does a lot of aviation incidences and accidents and stuff. Um, he's got his niche and it makes him very identifiable. I've been doing preparedness, cooking, communications, public safety, projects, automotive, all that kind of stuff. And so it makes it hard to find. And I understand that that bakes in some of my troubles. I don't know if I'll ever completely settle down on one topic. I might, the quote, jack of all trades, master of none, better than master of one. That's the rest of that quote. I can hear the airplanes from the airport about 6 miles downrange. The students are doing their touch and goes and their patterns. They're going to do their cross country trips pretty soon, and I think they're heading out to Dalhart, Texas, is where they're going to do their cross country turnaround. Great little airport to fly into. Some incredible pheasant hunting, whether it's with a camera or a shotgun. Great pheasant hunting. So that's the sophomore curse. I don't know how much more I have. I don't know how much of this I'm going to edit out. I may leave it kind of rough. I am so grateful for the community that I have. 650 viewers is humbling and incredible to me. One of the things I try to do, remember the old adage, they say if you get nervous in public speaking, try to vision your audience in their underwear. It makes it more comfortable. When I'm recording now, and especially right now, I'm sitting in this giant grass field. It's incredibly beautiful, but I'm trying to picture 650 people here watching this, and I don't want to waste your time. I want to bring something of value to each and every one of you to pay you back for the support that I felt so far and how grateful I am to have this tiny little platform in 2022. Please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment down below. Let's keep this going. And I won't come back with the upperclassmen report until I've checked off both of the metrics to make me eligible to monetize. I may not, but I think it's an important benchmark to have those 1,000 subscribers, and I think it's 400 watch hours. Feet have fallen asleep sitting here out in the grass. It's very cold right now. If this was summertime, I'd be concerned about rattlesnakes, to be honest. Please, camera, still be running.